Hi everybody, it's been a long time. I'm Tara, and this is my second world building episode here on my channel. I'm sorry it took so long making this video, but let's not waste any time and onto the video. Everything starts at the beginning, so what better way to start this video than with the Big Bang? Many say the great nothingness birthed the first gods. Christianity, Greek and Norse mythology, and many other religions talk about this concept. Either the gods were always there or randomly spawned into said nothingness. But what if the creation of the universe was before the birth of the first god? Where would said god come from? Well, if we say gods are created in or by nothingness, it would only make sense if they are created by an imploding black hole. And since a black hole is an imploded star, I think by imploding again it could recreate itself as a star, and said star would be the heart of the god. But I'm not an expert in this, so don't take my word for gold, please. Since gods aren't exactly physical beings, the star would store their energy while they themselves are free to take whatever form they please. This goes all down to the idea that life itself is a sort of energy, since we can move by ourselves and this energy needs to come from somewhere. Hence, the sun is the heart of the god. And when we say this energy needs to be stored somewhere else than in the actual moving thing, since the energy is stored in the star, not in the god itself, we could, for example, put this energy in powerful artifacts. And what better artifacts to use for energy than crystals? Yay! My concept is basically that life is energy, and this energy is stored in these crystals that I call birthstones. It's not a very original name, but okay. And those stones are basically connected to everything that's living. So, birthstones are materializations of pure life energy, and sentient life forms which are connected with those birthstones have the power of this life energy. Even more so if they share a birthstone with the world. So they are being hosts of other life forms. And some of them are even connected to multiple worlds. And the more worlds they're connected to, the greater their power. So a god basically is connected to a star and a world or multiple worlds. But maybe there's a possibility that multiple gods are connected to the same star. What would be then? Well, I don't think there would be a possibility to connect multiple gods to the same star. But theoretically, those first gods, which I'll just call pure gods, could be able to split themselves, so they could descend into multiple gods. So basically, mythology like Greek mythology or Norse mythology with multiple gods could still be possible in this universe. And in the universe of my comic, that is the case. In my comic, there are going to be 7 different worlds that are all connected to the same star, to the same pure god. And this god split into 2 halves, a sun god and a moon goddess. Those first 2 gods that weren't the god of the first generation were called Solaris and Luna. From the very first moment they split, they acted as polar opposites, being the light of day and the aura of the stars, but you'd never know that from their behavior. Luna represented the night sky. She created many thousands of wishes, which are a whole nother concept. The easiest thing to describe them is we say gods create lives, but evolution still exists. So basically, gods make plans for how a creature is supposed to look, supposed to act, and throws it onto the world, and then the creature just evolves by itself. So the gods basically just give it the starting point. But Luna's wishes had the sole purpose of entertaining her. Solaris, on the other hand, expected nothing but perfection, which caused him to destroy his own wishes if they weren't like he wanted them to be, as well as destroying Luna's creations. Like you probably would have guessed, this duo constantly fought, especially over their life forms and worlds. The first world to be created was the Outlands, which Luna filled with her monsters. while Solaris created his paradise gardens, now called heavens, and filled them with his angels. For the non-physical life forms, Luna created the Twilight Zone, or the in-between, which later became the Ghost World. Shortly after that, Solaris created the new paradise gardens, which are known today as Faerie, the world of nymphs and fairies. This world would be filled with Solaris' perfect creations, including humans, which he kicked out not much later. Yeah. So it's kind of... yeah. So, where did those humans go? That was the Outlands. But since Solaris is such a great god, he at least got rid of Luna's monsters first. So he's basically the one who killed the dinosaurs. And since Luna wasn't happy with that, Solaris killed her. Well, okay, you can kill a god, but Solaris basically imprisoned her in her own birthstone, and she is basically trapped in the moon at this point. So the last one I wanted to talk about today is the devil. Of course, he's very much like he's described in the Bible. He's the angel Lucifer that rebelled against Solaris, so his father. Solaris isn't called Solaris in the Bible anyways. And banished to Earth for trying to overthrow Solaris, and the impact of him falling to Earth basically created a crater that became hell later on. The runes I'm drawing on his horns and arms are basically the curse that keeps him like he is. Now comes the part I'm making up about him. He tried to become a god a second time and tried to split his birthstone, so the stones I talked about earlier, into two to create another world. But that didn't work, and he basically split himself with it. And that's basically it of the three gods. So, the gods I was talking about aren't the ones that made the worlds, but there are very, very, very many sub-gods I made over the course of creating the concept of the comic, which include literally a tree, which is like the fountain of youth. I don't know if I would make a video on the sub-gods and stuff like that, but it's too much to fit into one video. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!